Come and join me today whilst I plant up this beautiful autumn planted log basket. So first, I'm just showing you this beautiful log basket that I picked up from a local charity shop. It's always worth having a look in your charity shops and secondhand stores because they've always got something interesting and different that you probably wouldn't be able to find anywhere else. And also, they're such a good bargain. Before we start planting, we need to line our basket to make sure it doesn't get rotten and it lasts as long as it can do outside in the wet and the cold. I'm actually upcycling a compost bag from my last project that I did on here. So waste not, want not, that's what I say, all good use. And it also saves me money on liners as well. Just tucking in all the edges to the basket, making sure it's as neat as possible and also as secure as possible. I've also put a couple of holes in the bottom of the basket just for aeration and to prevent the basket from waterlogging. So now I'm going to start filling up our basket. I'm using a peat-free and organic mixed compost. Really lovely consistency, nice and aerated, got lots of bits of fibre in there, which is fantastic for the plants, especially this time of the year. Needs lots of air in the basket to prevent waterlogging and keep those plant roots nice and happy and healthy. So I like to make sure I add in a slow release fertiliser with any basket that I'm doing any time of the year. They usually last up to 3 months. This one's by Doff, nice, good value for money brand. And it's just a good way to make sure your plants have always got some kind of nutrients added into the compost, enriching them and helping their roots settle in. And it just makes your display last a little bit longer and look as good as possible for longer as well. So we're going in with our first plant, Spicio Rubella. Gorgeous clusters of red, beautiful buds this time of the year. Fantastic for autumn colour tones. I'm just giving it a quick tidy up around the base of the plant. And I'm also going to tease the root system out because it's quite a good, healthy root ball, but just to encourage it to anchor itself into the basket. Now later on in the winter, this will actually provide interest in creamy white flowers that open up sort of January, February time, even into March. And the early pollinators love this one. It's got a gorgeous, subtle, sweet scent as well. So fantastic for this autumn basket, but it will last all the way through the winter and into the early spring. Now I'm just raising the level up a bit because when you're planting, you just need to check root size and also towards the level of the basket. Make sure you're not planting it too deep, but deep enough to anchor it in. So I'm just relocating and making sure that's nice and secure and in place, and that will set us up for the rest of the planting for this basket. And next in is one of my autumn favourite instant colour in packs, a Kalina. It's a type of heather, but it's absolutely strong of colour. This one is a dual planted Kalina that I bought from the garden centre, which means it's just got 2 different colours put into the same plug. It really is outstanding and adds such good texture to the basket. And then next to that, I'm going to add a bit of waftiness. So we've got some structure, we've got some colour, and now we're going to add a little bit of a third dimension in movement with this gorgeous grass. It's a pennisetum, which you can pick up loads of different varieties at this time of the year. We're putting that towards the back as it is the highest plant at the moment, or tallest is probably the proper English. So that's going towards the back of the basket to give us height and also a nice bit of movement and flow with the other 2 plants in front. So now those 3 at the back are nice and secure, we can start planting up the front and the sides. I want to add a little bit more scent for this time of the year. So I'm going to go in with this gorgeous bedding cyclamen. This is the Flame series. Flame meaning the flowers look like dancing flames when they move in the wind. So great for movement, style and colour. And the flower form is fantastic, and also the foliage has beautiful silver lines running through it, so it's a good all-round bit of interest. Now that will only last down to about -5, but because we've got all these other beautiful plants in the basket, the colours, the other plants will take over when the cyclamen's finished, so no need to worry there. Now this beauty is a eucarella. I love eucharis and eucarellas. People love or hate them, I find, but they just add gorgeous foliage colour. Something a little bit different, breaks up the basket with all the blooms in, and there's so many different colour tones to choose from, especially in the autumn. There's so many autumnal sort of colours and patchworks you could pull together with those beautiful plants, and that will give us coverage throughout most of the year. There's about 9 months worth of the year of colour with the eucarella. It's fantastic. It will flower in late spring as well, which is also an added bonus with this basket, making it last longer. So we've got the basis of our main planting, and now we're going to interplant with little fillers in the form of violas. Violas are brilliant for autumn colour, winter colour, and they'll take you way through the spring. So this is very much an autumn planting. You can see right now it's vibrant, it's beautiful, but the whole idea is to get good value for money from your garden and great expectation of long-lasting displays. So this combination will last you. Just deadhead the violas every now and then, go out with a coffee, have a nice potter in the morning and go and deadhead the violas, and they will just keep on giving and giving and giving. Even through snow, they do bounce back. They're great. And you can see, even in this basket, I've managed to find colour tones that suit and match the other plants that we've put in here. There's so many to choose from. I can really bang on about violas and pansies. They are brilliant for autumn, winter and spring colour. Now I should also mention, you've probably noticed whilst I've been babbling on, in the video I'm actually making sure that I'm maintaining every single plant before it goes in. So deadheading, removing manky leaves or leaves that are going off. This just keeps your display fresh from the get-go, and it prevents any spread of disease, and it also encourages them to flourish and grow a little bit more before the winter sets in. So it just keeps everything nice and happy and healthy straight from the moment that you've planted it. So now everything's in and we're happy, we're going to give it a bit of a shake and a bit of a tap, and we're going to put in the compost around the outside to make sure we're anchoring all our lovely luscious plants in the basket nice and firmly and securely, and making sure, of course, they've got all the nutrients they need around all their root balls. Then, having worked all the way around the edges of the basket, I'm now looking for gaps that need filling. So again, I'm going to use more violas to fill any little spaces that I think we can squeeze just a little bit more colour and a few more plants in. It won't harm in this basket. There's plenty of fresh compost. There's plenty of the slow release fertiliser. So it's all about impact now and a lasting impact display. So fill those gaps up, give it a tap, make sure the compost is nice and secure. It hasn't dropped too much, fill it up if it has. And it just fills the basket up nice and beautifully. So now I'm just swizzling the basket round again, checking for gaps. Huge gap at the back. The skimmy is there, which will take over eventually, but right now I want to make sure we have got full colour. So in we go again with another pansy or viola, just to top it up and really fill this basket up to the brim. And again, tapping, turning, pushing down the compost, making it nice and secure, not tight, but just secure to hold plants in and make sure there's enough compost towards the top of the basket. And that is it. A beautiful rim-filled basket of glorious autumn colours that will also last through into the winter and into the early spring. Just the odd dead head, take off the odd dead leaf if you need to, keep it looking pristine and good. Through the winter, don't water it too much, just enough if we have really dry days, and it will give you plenty of colour and pleasure. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed my autumn log basket DIY video. I'll see you next time.